I don't know. Can you hear me? Yeah, I don't hear anything playing on this end, but I guess if we got it, then I'm going to be happy with that. Good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? So good to see you. Look at you, Jessica Shields, in the house. Thank you, Minister Corindus. I don't know what's going on with my sound in the house. I can't hear anything coming from my speakers. Good evening. Hello, Special. Hello, Manuel. Karen Jameson said loud and clear. All right, George Mason, good to see you. Renee Holly, Darlene Henry, good to see you. Noemi, good evening. Kareem, good to see you. Gwyneth, Tasha Ross, Carmen Sanchez, awesome, awesome. Sound is good. Carmen Crespo, we can hear you. Hello, Lisa Palmer. I'm not sure about a light panel. Maybe ask Ebony. Good evening, Elitza. Leadership begins at home. What is the effect of your leadership in your house? Good evening, Rafael Sanchez. I see you signed in early. Hello, Leah. Rochelle Graham. Hey, Jason. Let's go. Brittany says day 28. Good evening, all. Hello, Ashley Otero. Lydia Cordova. Greetings, Kita. Hello, Dominique. We is on the end now. We got 3 nights to go and 2 when we're done tonight. Oh, Absolutely, Carmen. We're praying for your grandson, your 2-year-old grandson, taken to the hospital just now for chronic asthma. Can everyone who knows the word of God or has a good heart of empathy and compassion for people, can you please pray for Carmen Crespo's grandson, please? Edwin. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Let's see. That's right, Dominique. She's already shooting the prayers up. Hello, Crystal Adgers, Dolores Davis. Hello, Yolanda Dawson, John Booker, Evening Family, Renee Holly, Audrey Holly, and no relation to each other. Daniel Woodard, Noemi, Donna Griffiths. Hello, greetings, blessings to you, Nanita, Nubian Queen, Rhonda Johnson. Hello, Joanne Fisher, Rodney McCleary. Hello, my dear one. Good evening, Special, Darlene Henry, Renee Walton. Hello, Danielle, Tony, Carla, Prudence, Kamisha, Candy, Alicia. Hello. Hello, Rochelle, Bianca, Carmen Figueroa. We have 3 Carmens in here this year, huh? Hello, Audra Fisher. Good evening, Gina Beecham. Hello there. Hello, Vanessa, Caritha, Chevelle. Good evening, Latanya, Carolyn Booker. Hello, Patricia Wilson. Hello, Eddie Kendall. God bless my brother. Hello, hello, hello. I see you, Anna and Anya. Jessica, hello, Deja. Greetings, greetings, and double greetings to you all. Beautiful people in the house. How you detox? How's your detox going? How's your detox going? Talk back to me. Good evening, Selena's, Angela, Barbara. Hello, Damien. Good. We're praying for the grandson. Let's get those prayers up. Bombard heaven. Oh, Karen Jameson is asking, are we going to have a few bonus nights? Ain't that interesting? Yes, we are. Yes, we are praying. Good. It looks like I'm kind of caught up on everyone who's coming in. We have 81 in here tonight. What do you want, ma'am? Come. What do you want? We have 81 in here tonight. It's good to see you because it looks like we greatly and mightily fell off last night. People are like, I'm done with this. I'm passive aggressive and I ain't getting on tomorrow night. I'm passive aggressive and I'm admitting it. I'm going to act like I'm on, but I'm not going to pay attention to it. And they're going to shout out some things at the end of the broadcast. And I don't even care if I respond. And then I'm going to argue with them down and tell them I was on. They made a mistake. I'm passive aggressive. How you doing? Reach my hand right in your soul and pull that passive aggression out. Chevelle, now how did you know that was Diamond? She's struggling. Definitely had to show my emotional intelligence today with a whole lot of exclamation points after that. Go on, John Booker. I know you passed the test. And how we doing with our micromanaging? Where's the micromanagers in the house? Did you realize that when you can't trust people to do an assignment, even if you really can't trust them to do an assignment, but it makes you a micromanager? Say hello. She's dirty right now, so forgive the dirt. Say hello. You don't want anything to do with anybody tonight. Do you need to go outside? You want to go outside? What you want to do? She just want her mommy, I guess. So the final assessment is mailed out or emailed out tonight. Which is it, Eb? Last night or tonight? Both nights. So please get your final assessment in. I'm going to meet with a lot of the ministers and ADTs and elders at the Apostles' House, and it's going to help me when I have my sit-down progress report with you this year. So please make sure you get your final assessment done. And I saw Ebony's email, so I think it kind of covered everything. I do want to give a special thanks to those who sent in Cash App. I want to thank Minister Donna Griffiths. Bear with me a moment. Andrea Shields, She said for final week. I didn't even know she was on. How these names be getting by me? Carmen Figueroa, Anna Roman, Vanessa Bolin, Damian, and Cam Jackson. Thank you guys so much for sending in your contributions. Let's see what else we have to do. Anything else, Ebony? Am I good for now? All right. So we have some work to do. I was really put to the test with micromanagement today. I was Carmen Crespo. Really, Carmen. I would love to hear all about it. And I'm sure the rest of us would love to hear about it too. So I'm pretty sure you're not going to get on live and share that with us, are you? Yeah, Booker says Diamond is not backsliding today. She's getting her detox on. Diamond is the most emotionally intelligent being that I know. And her empathy is on fleek. We need to learn from her. Thank you, Renee. She said she wasn't feeling well yesterday, but she did get her replay. I'm just glad you're on tonight and doing better. Good to see everyone. I see you, Joycey. All right, so let's just do a brief check-in. Let's check our posts. Can we check our posts? How you doing? How are we doing with our empathy? How are we doing with that? Ebony, you see Gwen Molden's comment? Okay. How are we doing with empathy? I see a few people said they were tested today. How are you doing with your leadership? How's your leadership? How's your self-reflection today? Or what was your self-reflection today? Or did you even have any self-reflection today regarding your leadership? Talk to me. I want to see you in the chat. I'm going to take a few minutes to do this because we're on countdown. I've got 3 nights with you and we've got to do a check-in. Good. Okay. Everyone's saying good. It was hard today. Absolutely. Good. Ashley said she got 1 feedback from someone about her legacy thought. Awesome. Self-reflection was good. Anna says it has come in handy, I must say, with work. So on time. Pastor D said she stopped herself from overthinking. Jason said good. Gwennon said she had self-reflection today. Rochelle says good. Yeah, I see you, Mike Rose. He's trying, very trying with empathy. Yolanda Dawson says great. Improving with empathy and leadership was okay today. Tony says the micromanager is a challenge for her. I see you. I see you, Yolanda Dawson. I see you, Candy. Good. It really, I hope that it really opened up your eyes regarding leadership, because it's so easy to point the finger at dim people. It was the woman you gave me. It was the man who wasn't here with me. And God is like, can I remind you that I'm speaking to you and you alone? And if I gave an entire church to get something done and 99 of them didn't do it, your excuse is someone else. Yeah, very good, Carolyn. She said she has connected the micromanaging to the fact that she struggles with trust. Carolyn, are you able to come on right now? Would you like to share that with us? I like the title. Very good, Carmen Sanchez. Yeah, Pastor D, breathe. It's big in women, and it can cause us in leadership to fall into that because of our nurturing nature. Yeah, it's hard, right? I'm going to say it this way because I don't like the terminology that it's hard. It's really that it's new. But it's very difficult when you are learning something and then you go in and no one else is learning and they don't want to learn and they don't care. Isn't that hard? It's almost like when you begin to have faith in God, and you went and you were so on fire on the weekend. You're around all the believers. You feel strengthened. You're in heavy worship. Sunday is like, oh my God, this just feels like heaven that's on earth. Oh my God. And then you go to work Monday and you're like, I just want to go back to church. Like, this is just too much right here. Yeah. And that's what it is. You're learning all of this, and then you're tested on it immediately. Sometimes as soon as you get offline. For others, as soon as you go out into the world, you're tested on it immediately. Okay, Ebony, you want to bring in that one guest that's willing to come in? Thank you again. I heard that Donna doesn't have Cash App, and she found a way through a So Detox Elf to get her donation in. And I just appreciate it. And I thank you so much. I thank you all for everything. It just means the world to me. It means the world to me first that 90 to 100 people are willing to log in and even learn of things about themselves. Because this is when you can't point to anyone else. Even if they're guilty, you can't point with them. You've got to learn how to be a better person, even when you're around not well people, even when you're around dysfunctional people. Because time out for pointing at someone else. If you're not leaving or cutting them off or separating from that family or quitting that job or whatever group or that church, you got to do the work. And I would recommend that you do the work anyway, because it's going to come up somewhere and catch you. Absolutely, Bianca. Good job. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that this leadership part is really doing its thing. That is so much my desire for you. I do want to get us to head over, and then we'll have some time for Carmen if they get her on. I believe in your book, it's maybe page 210, and it has the section on leadership. So I'll read this greeting here. Yeah, you do. The responsibility is on you. You know, even in our faith as Christians, God doesn't care if you chose to go around these people. He's expecting the most from us. He's not giving us a pass because we're around them. We can't say they tested me. I put my religion on the shelf. If you're not strong enough, don't go around them. Stay around like-minded believers, because it's a test. Some of it is just their natural way. Other parts is them really just antagonizing you. And other time it's a spiritual antagonizing spirit. So I wouldn't even go around them. I wouldn't waste my time. So let me see if she got anything from Carmen yet. Let me see if Carmen's picture is up here. Nothing. All right. So if Carmen's not coming on, I'm going to go ahead and jump over here. Leadership section. 360-degree feedback is a comprehensive process where an individual receives confidential, anonymous feedback from the people who work around them. Here we go. We were just talking about those people, the ones that aren't making the effort, that are not interested in making the effort, perhaps don't know that they need to make the effort. And you're doing all this work and you're sent back to a cesspool every day. This is where you are going to get your feedback from. Thank you, Sandra. This typically includes peers, managers, subordinates, and sometimes even your clients. Can you pop that in the chat for me? Peers, managers, and subordinates. You can just say subs for the sake of texting it. And this will be a full 100% participation in the Apostles' House. The 360-degree refers to getting feedback from all directions, thus the 360-degree. In the workplace, providing a rounded view of a person's skills and behaviors. And here's how it's typically structured. Number one, there's a questionnaire that's developed. And the questionnaire is developed based on the field that you're working in. Some of the principles, the guiding principles, the vision of the organization, and then the things that are expected of you in that job position. So a questionnaire has to be developed. Coaching consultants like myself and HR will do these type of things if you need someone to do it for you. So a questionnaire is created focusing on key competencies and behaviors relevant to the individual's role and the organization's values. These questions are often a mix of rating scales and open-ended questions. Somebody type in their open-ended questions. That's very important. The second part of the assessment, if you want to call it that, is selecting the respondents. The individual being reviewed, and that would be you, often with the help of a manager or HR, selects a range of people from different work relationships to provide feedback. This selection of feedback and of the respondents aims to get a balanced and comprehensive perspective. So you don't want to just get people who yes you. You don't want to get people who fear you. You don't want to get people who do not respond honestly in most situations because they're afraid of backlash, retaliation. They don't know how to confront. You don't really want to deal with them. And for the Apostles' House, I will probably reject some of those because this isn't about your relationship as an assessment. This is about you as an individual. So selecting key respondents. The third part of this assessment is conducting the survey. The respondents who we agree on, this is going to be the tricky part, complete the questionnaire, providing their perception of the individual's, I can't say it tonight all of a sudden, competencies, I can't say it, I'll get it in a minute, behaviors and professional skills. This process is usually anonymous to encourage honest and candid responses. Did you hear that part? This process is usually anonymous to encourage honest and candid responses. This is to help people who are afraid of being honest or afraid of you or are don't care enough about you to be honest, or they want you to stay rotten. So they're going to say, oh, he's great. He's fantastic. He's an encourager. She's just a wonderful, kind individual. But then they'll have another conversation, the passive aggressives, especially. Well, I didn't want to say anything but you're saying something now behind their back when you had an opportunity. So number 3 was conducting a survey with the respondents. They complete it and they're asked to provide their perception of the individual's competencies. I got it now. Behaviors and professional skills. This process is usually anonymous, and the reason for that is to encourage honest and candid responses. The fourth part of this is collecting, analyzing data. This feedback is collected and analyzed by a coaching firm, human resources professional, or an external consultant. The data is compiled into a report that highlights strengths, weaknesses, and areas for development. Number 5, the feedback session. This is the good part because this is the part most people don't get to. The feedback session. Once your respondents have completed their interview sheets of you and the forms are turned back in to the coach, we then put all the data into one data bank and we come out with a cumulative average of the overall experience that people have of you and give you instructions to move forward. You'll see number 6, we'll talk about an action plan. So this isn't something that you'll fill out and you'll do a self-assessment. This isn't something that you'll fill out and you'll read their names and you see what they really feel about you. Or you'll see that it's anonymous and you'll see what people feel about you, but you don't know really who they are. No, you're going to be told this is how people experience you. And your defensiveness is a hindrance to your leadership. Your defensiveness is a hindrance to your team being vulnerable with you. Your defensiveness is causing people not to work with you. Your defensiveness is hindering your promotion to the next phase of whatever your life or career or ministry may be. So there's going to be a feedback session. So I got work to do. Okay. So in the feedback session, number 5, a meeting is arranged between the individual and a manager or a trained professional to discuss the feedback. The session focuses on understanding the feedback, identifying key areas of strength and improvement, and then developing an action plan. Does that sound good so far? Let me see what y'all think about this. Does this scare you? And then you will have your feedback session with me, probably your overseer, your coach. And this meeting is arranged between the individual and a manager or trained professional to discuss the feedback. You won't be alone. You'll have your HR rep with you, your elder, your overseer, your coach. The session focuses on understanding the feedback. It will be explained to you thoroughly, identifying your key areas of strengths. We always want to lift up the good. And then the areas that need improvement, and develop an action plan for you right then and there. And the wonderful thing about the action plan is that we move down to number 6. The action plan will also entail follow-up throughout the year to make sure that you're on task and that you're on your goal. The individual creates a development plan based on the feedback with specific goals and actions. Follow-up meetings with an S, meetings throughout the year. I recommend every quarter. If it's really a big struggle for you, you probably need to be in your overseer, elders, coaches, office calendar every month. Every month you need to be on the calendar if you're really struggling, because you want to put time limits on some of this stuff. We shouldn't be 60 years old still dealing with micromanaging, even though we do. Dealing with passive aggressiveness, lack of empathy, totally unaware of how we show up, how we treat people. So if you're younger, I really encourage you to do this work now. Because the older you get, you kind of get set in your ways and you just don't believe the hype anymore. You just believe what you want to believe. And that's poor self-management. So it would be very productive. Not only will we get feedback, not only will you have a feedback session with me, not only will you have an action plan, you will have an action plan with follow-up meetings and subsequent 360-degree feedback session that can be scheduled to track your progress. This is for your personal, professional development, particularly for improving emotional intelligence. That provides insights into how others perceives one's behavior in a professional setting, highlighting areas of emotional and social skills that need improvement. However, it's important that the process is conducted in a supportive and constructive manner to ensure it's beneficial and not demoralizing. Ebony, could you copy that part right there for me and post that? It's important that the process is conducted in a supportive and constructive manner to ensure it's beneficial and not demoralizing. All right. Patricia Wilson said she had something similar like this at her other jobs. They care about you. They care about their organization. Because if they didn't care about you, they would just enter these numbers in, go to lunch, don't start no trouble here, be quiet and collect the paycheck. They care about you. They're sewing into you, and they care about their brand. They want the best of the best representing their brand. Isn't that what God deserves? Isn't that what the church deserves? Not making excuses for bad behavior, messy attitudes, rudeness, lateness, half-done work, bringing in stuff when you feel like bringing it in, not doing things when you don't feel like doing it. Lack of honor for your leader. When your leader tells you to be on here every night for 30 days, that this is for your benefit, not for me to get the numbers up, because I didn't create this for Christians, if you want to know the truth. I created it for the human. So when I care enough to send a message, honor should be returned by signing in every night. This morning when I woke up, I heard in my ear, they say they love you with their lips, but their hearts are far from you. And I almost wanted to weep, because these are the people that can be in your face, take your time and say they love you with their lips, But when you call them on the carpet to commit to something for 30 days, you will see that their hearts are far from you. They can't even give you that. Jesus asked for an hour. Come on, we got to go there tonight because we've got to grow up. The church is under attack. If I can just speak from this perspective for a moment, the church is under attack. And the sad part about it is the church is being attacked for things that wolves in sheep clothing are doing in Jesus's name, even though we know that the Bible says when they get to the gatekeeper trying to determine if they're going to heaven or hell, he will be there and he will let them know, I know you not. And these wolves in sheep clothing will say, but we cast out demons in your names. We held revival. We held deliverance services. We had lines around the corner. We raised so much money for the church over there. And he'll say, return for me. You are a worker of iniquity. He deserves better. The church deserves better. Your leaders are supposed to be able to lead you that it's profitable, not financially, but to their soul, where they want to come back to teach you, where they want to come back with new vision and new revelation and spend one-on-one time with you and build us up as a group and do things like this to better you. This right here can be used in the workplace. I have managers and supervisor on here. I know Minister Brittany herself. This form can be created to work in her establishment, and the people that she oversees, she can start giving them the 360 questionnaire. And it's not coming from just a boss who you may feel is racist or has a gender issue or has an age discrimination issue with you or just doesn't like you. It's coming from your peers. So I took the time to put up a sample here. Let's go through the sample tonight so we get a real idea of how this works. Section 1. How self-aware is this employee? Do they recognize their own emotions, their own emotional states, and their impact on work performance and relationships? Do they demonstrate control and regulation of personal emotions in challenging situations? Do they show awareness of personal strengths and areas for development? Do they seek feedback? Come on, micromanagers. Do they seek feedback from others and acts upon that feedback to improve their performance? So your trusted other will make a comment. I've highlighted the comment. Then, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to make it a little bit easier. Here we go. Let's go to page, because that page was showing you how to actually fill it out. And that's for those that are going to need to fill it out. Let's go to page, is it 215 or 216? Where it says 360-degree feedback questionnaire, respondents' relationship to individual peer. I think might be 215, 216. Mine says 215. Where y'all at? Yours is 213? Okay, 216. Thank you. 216. It's in bold format. And it says section 1, self-awareness and self-regulation. Does this person recognize their own emotional states and their impact on work performance and relationships? And your special somebody says, I'll give them a 4. And the reason I'm giving them a 4 is because generally they are good at managing their emotions, but I can see visibly that they are stressed out when they hit deadlines. And because our company or our business or our ministry or this work that we are assigned to is one that will operate under a lot of tight deadlines, they really need to be a 5 in this category. So I'm going to rate them at a 4, noting that they need to work when they get overwhelmed from stress. And then the second question would be, do they demonstrate control and regulation of personal emotions in challenging situations? And your specific one would say, I'll rate them a 3 because they recently handled a project that was in crisis and they handled it calmly, but they tend to be short-tempered when they're overwhelmed. And so you'll have 3 or 4 of these turned in, and I will put the data all together. And then I will give you a report regarding all of this that comes in. Number 3, do they show awareness of personal strengths and areas for development? And your person will say, I'll give them a 4 on that because they are aware that they are a strong communicator, but sometimes they take on too much work. And that's a big deal. I got a big surprise for y'all. Karen asked for a bonus night, but I got a surprise for y'all at the end of this too. Shows awareness of personal strengths. And this person's rated pretty well so far. They are aware. I am aware that they are a strong communicator, but sometimes they take on too much work. And we need to know that, because when you take on too much work, it affects your attitude. It might affect you showing up late. It might affect you not keeping up with other progress or keeping your word with some of your team members. So it's important to know that I recognize you are a strong communicator, but your weakness is you take on too much. You're the cleanup woman. You to do it all day in, and you're hindering the team because you're taking on too much, and it slows us down. Number 4, do they seek feedback from others and act upon it to improve performance? This is hard. This is a mature individual. This cannot be a passive aggressive individual, because those do not like feedback. So your person gave you a 5, and they said regularly ask for feedback and has shown improvements in their delegation skills. So you see how within a year you can grow up, do better, learn more skills, have better performance just by checking in every 3 months on your progress. The section 2 was on empathy and understanding others. Do they tend to demonstrate understanding and consideration of other ministers on their teams, of their feelings and perspectives? They said, I'll give them a 4. Because they're usually sensitive to team members' concerns, but can miss nonverbal cues. That means you are the one that can't tell when to cut off a topic. You can't tell when you've lost people's attention. You do not notice when there's 4 people on a team and one of them is really, let's just say, just plummeting with personal issues and not able to keep up with the rest of the team. You are naive when it comes to verbal cues, and that messes up the teamwork. And there's a lot of people that are, because empathy will have you aware of other people. So if you are not able to pick up on cues in a room, if you can't tell that you're not being called on because when you get the mic, you get messy, you're missing cues. Number 2, respond appropriately to the emotional needs of others. This person's giving you a 3 because you are supportive, but sometimes you are too focused on task to notice your team morale. Okay, team, I know everybody's got problems in here tonight. I got problems. We're going to make sure we get this assignment done. Okay. We may have to stay a little longer, even though everyone's tired or everyone has personal issues. And it's best if we get out of here in an hour, because we need to take some time to build morale. The meeting may need to take 2 hours, because an hour may need to be time for us to have prayer together, get out our vents, and then have prayer together. You know, we may need to go out and get something to eat. We may need to go breathing for a while. We may need to bowl for an hour and then come back in and get the assignment done. So you are a very supportive person, but sometimes you're too focused on the task that you forget the people. Come on. Number 3, do they show interest in the development and well-being of their colleagues? This person gave you a 5. They're always available to discuss their career goals and provide guidance. Section 3 is on communication skills. Does this person communicate effectively and assertively without being passive aggressive? They gave you a 5. Why? Because you are an excellent communicator, clear and concise. I'm missing a C. In meetings. Actively listen to others before responding. They got a 4. Good listener, but occasionally interrupts during discussions. God help us. Number 3, express ideas and feelings clearly and respectfully. A 5. They're very articulate and respectful, even in disagreements. Did anybody log out? Did anybody faint? Anybody fell off their chair? How we doing out there? Are we fearing this, or are we all down? We're going to do it, right? How about relationship management? Do you build and maintain positive and productive working relationships? And they got a 5. Has strong relationships with their team members and their clients alike. In our case, It would be for ministers. We're holding on. All right, good. Number 3, do you effectively manage and resolve conflict? Well, you might get a 4. Usually good at conflict resolution, but can be more proactive. Very positive. Do they collaborate well with others, contributing to team efforts? You got a 5. Great team player, always willing. And then here's a follow-up action plan for the individual. This plan addresses areas for improvement. So using the form example that I just gave you, this would happen after they're all turned in, after I put my information together, and then I call you in to meet. Very good, Raphael. So I recommend, based on the results that came in from your self-awareness and self-regulation section on the questionnaire, that you take some stress management training. I want you to roll in a class of stress management, find a workshop. I can find one for you. Matter of fact, I probably already found it and booked your first session to develop some coping strategies for you. Remember the person, they were really good, but they would get overwhelmed when they had pressure on them. So this is what has been recommended. Some stress management training. These are the dates of the training. I need you to show up. They're in person. Some are on Zoom, blah, 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 blah. The next one, empathy and understanding others. Areas for improvement. We talked about all of that. This person right here, they were noticing, they had trouble noticing nonverbal cues and team morale. So what do we do with this one? We're signing them up to attend a course on emotional intelligence to improve their empathy skills. We recommend regular team check-ins, schedule bi-weekly informal meetings with team members to gauge morale and address concerns. How did you come up on the communication part of this? I'm glad you asked. Your area for improvement was that you occasionally interrupt or have outbursts during preaching in services, or you constantly talk over your leaders when your leaders are talking. So what do we do in this to help you ensure that you let others finish even though you may have the answer already? After meetings, ask a trusted colleague for feedback, and we're going to get you signed up for some listening skills training. How do we do in relationship management? Well, you did pretty good. You were very proactive in conflict resolution. So for you, the action steps would be a conflict resolution workshop. Participate in a workshop to learn proactive conflict management techniques. Seek out membership. Some of you will be encouraged to seek out mentorship. It can be with your overseer or someone completely different. Seek membership from a senior leader known for strong conflict resolution skills. And the reason for that is sometimes, look, we're getting ready to grow. We're growing as a body, but we need to grow in quality. So I need to promote you to a pastoral position and start getting you trained. So I need you to be under my mentorship so that I know that you are prepared when I need to ordain you and lay hands on you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So how about some personal development goals? Short-term goals, improve stress management within the next 3 months. You got 3 months to do it. Yeah. Long-term goals, develop a stronger awareness of team dynamics and nonverbal communication skills over the next year. So that means we're going to have check-ins monthly to talk about how you were nonverbally in these meetings. What did you pick up? What did you see? And then the progress review part. Schedule regular reviews. Set up monthly self-reviews and a 6-month formal review with the manager to evaluate your progress. How are y'all doing? What you feeling like? Talk to me. So if you want, you can make a copy of this in the book that you have, and you can get it to the people that you believe you want to fill it out, and they can start working on it and get it into us as soon as they can. Or we may be able to set it up in a Google Doc and have it set up for you so that you can mail it to them through email and it can be returned back to us. But you don't have to do it that way because some people are not techie that you'll give it to. Now, what do y'all think about that? I feel like I need this to grow. Yes. Come on. Excited. Good. That's good. That's good. You're welcoming the feedback. Awesome. And for those at the Apostles' House, again, if you read, if you are in ministry, if you are a minister in ADT, and you read my notice that was sent out to you guys that our in-service is now going to be quarterly, because y'all going to have so much time to work on these other things and take stress management workshops, conflict resolution workshops. Isn't this wonderful? She always has a plan. Anyone who stays in God's face always has a strategy, no matter what may come. 1,000 may fall at my side. Come on, somebody help me out. So guess what? Excuse me. Guess what else I did? Somebody asked me what? And then I'll answer you. Ebony says, what else? She's trying to help them with the delay. What did you do? I created one of these for relationships. We spent so much time talking about leadership begins in the home. Well, this form, this assessment, this questionnaire is going to be for married people or people with families. And they are going to rate your leadership. And then when we have our married couples growing together night out, we're going to take the time to talk about some of these. Some of you are already in marriage coaching with me, and we can talk about some of these issues then. I want the children to fill them out that's in the household, or your children that maybe just left a year or two ago. And I want the wife to fill one out, and I want the husband to fill one out. John says, okay. Carolyn is laughing. I can hear your laugh. Yes. You can as well. Yes, Ebony. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have one for each spouse. And if you dare to ask your children, because they're, oh boy, Carolyn's laughing hard. She put up 3 laughing emojis now. We want to hear what your offspring has to say. We want to hear what their experience is of you, and they don't have to put their name on it. So you can't threaten them and tell them Santa Claus is not coming in December, and there'll be no hallelujah night in October, and there'll be no parties for their birthday this year. You cannot threaten them, because it needs to be, yes, dare to ask your children. Yes, ma'am. That's a hard one, isn't it? But I've created one, and let me see. I'll give you some idea what that form is like. Excuse me. If you're interested as a family unit, and I really, really, really pray that you are to take this serious. We will have a discussion. It would be my honor to have a discussion with the couple privately. And it's something that we can also do in group. And we won't go into the deeper stuff. We'll pick one topic for our group sessions for all married people. And I've been wanting to do this for years. We may even have some family nights, and we'll do some family sessions. Uh-oh, says Nubian Queen. So on some of these questions for the family, it says, this questionnaire is designed to assess an individual's leadership qualities within their family. We need the families to provide honest and constructive feedback to help the individual understand their strengths and areas for improvement in their leadership role in the family. They're going to rate you on how you communicate. They're going to rate you on how you listen. They're going to rate you on how they believe you may show empathy. They get to rate you on your decision making. And they can even note certain areas where they have experienced great and not so great decision making with your leadership. They're going to share a moment where there was conflict within the family. They don't have to give details or names. And they're going to share what they think of your conflict resolution on the issues that came up in your house. And then we get to ask them and they get to answer, do you provide a positive example for them? Family night, says Sophia Toro. There you go. Let's do it. Contact us, send us emails. We want to set it up. We want to get started as soon as we can in this year. And we'll give them room from some open-ended feedback, depending on the ages that I will be addressing this more detailed. They get to share what your strengths are. They get to share what they believe your areas for improvement are. They get to share any overall comments, those questions though, and any additional comments. And we are asking for specific examples or incidents related to their leadership qualities within the family that you'd like to mention, reminding them that it's all completely anonymous, private, and confidential. As I said when I started this chapter tonight, that this is not to demoralize anyone, to hurt anyone, to make mom or dad feel like a failure. It is so that we can have a clear view. I just saw Leah's emoji. Is that a mummy that only has eyes showing? Sophia Turo said, adult children will be most honest, I believe. Yeah, I can't wait to read Peyton's. I'm going to do it with y'all. I've done it before, but I'm going to do a current one. And I'm going to do it with you. And we're all going to indulge ourselves and becoming better in our influence and inspiration in our families and abroad, work and social relationships and church relationships. So do I have any questions? Ebony, was there any questions you noticed? Clear view, says Angela. Yep. And anything that you don't want us to discuss, like in an in-service or a family group meeting, I won't. I can keep it completely confidential with you. Manuel's eyes. Yeah, I think Minister Leah kind of like erased herself right out of the room. She just like blended into the wall. Tell somebody, let's grow. Tell your neighbor. I ain't been in church in a month. Come on. It's time to grow. Nudge them. Nudge them. Can y'all hear the keys hitting right now? You're supposed to get excited. I'm finna grow. Come on. We've been growing out for a while now. Can we just start growing inward with some quality? Good. Yep. Ebony said she answered it. Hopefully they saw it in the chat, but I'll answer it for those that may be on a different platform. Someone asked, can this also be used for single mothers and their children? Absolutely. 100%. If you live alone and you want to ask your brother, you want to ask your mother and father, if that's the most recent family dynamic that you have and you guys haven't lived together in 20, 30 years, there's been still Christmases and birthdays and holidays. They didn't like your last boyfriend. They couldn't stand your last girlfriend. We want to hear this from them. You may be surprised, but you're going to have to make sure that you give them a safe space, y'all. We got to give them a safe space and a safe place to be honest. So make sure that you're ready to not hold anything against anyone. Be passive aggressive against anyone. No dogs, Ralphie. They love us too much. That's a good one right there. Oh my God, that's a good one. That really tickled me. You and Leah Shaw. Yes, without judgment. Tell them there's no judgment. I recommend it like when I train coaches or lay pastors or lay counselors for the church. I give the people an envelope, and the envelope is to be filled out. The paperwork is to be filled out, and the envelope is to be sent right back to me. You can't even see it because it's not for you to start deflecting and getting angry. It's for me to read, merge all of the information, and give you a complete report. That's all it's for. I think this is a great idea to know how our family really sees us. Exactly. It's see it and experience it. It doesn't even mean they're right, but it's how you are being experienced. And if you don't like how they're being experienced, you want to change it. It wasn't your intention. You didn't know you were coming across as a hard taskmaster. You didn't know that your couple of accidents really scared them. You didn't know that you don't tell them that when you're working late. And you didn't know that they thought something was wrong with you and mom because you've been coming home late. You don't know. And this is what this will help you to do. John Booker said, with no hard feelings, we can grow stronger or get better. Some families don't discuss these things. Absolutely. They would never even allow their children to do this. So if you have adult children, I think it's important. And, you know, I don't know if I trust you guys doing this alone with your family, because if you're a hothead, they're not going to feel safe. So if you don't want me involved, or the pastor of the church, or, you know, the coaches for any reason, maybe too familiar or something, I hope that you would find someone. And I can still provide the accumulative data report so that they can at least share that altogether the family seems to simultaneously agree that you need to get your anger under control. And we'll support you with anger management. Not all the family agrees, but half of the family, percentage wise, is concerned about your drug and alcohol use. And they are asking if you will go to recovery meetings, and they will attend with you. One part of it is we don't like the fact that when you come in the house, you're already angry with us. It makes us feel worthless and devalued. And we would like you to take some anger management or emotional classes to help you transition from work traffic to home. Because when you come in the house, you're making us feel devalued by not shining in your eyes when you see your family for the first time today. You haven't seen them at 7 a.m. They weren't taken out in a murder suicide at the school. When you come home and see your family, that should be your greatest joy. And when your family is not your greatest joy, there's a problem, ma'am. There's a problem, sir. And this can help change that. Wouldn't that be awesome if this can change everything before you leave this earth? And then when you leave this earth and you're stone sleeping in your casket, and they get up there and say, well, y'all know my father who wasn't the nicest person. You know, the legacy that you don't know about. Yeah, that's what we're confronting. I'm not sure what Crystal wants, but Ebony can handle that. That's your biggest fear? Yes, Sophie. Well, we want to help you with that because we don't want that to be your lot either. So is there anyone that has any questions? Anything you want to say? Is there one maybe that wants to, what's your plan? Are you guys going to, the Apostles' House, do you want us to send you a Google Doc? Or are you just going to go ahead and make copies? How would you like us to do it? Because there's one for the Apostles' House. There's one for everybody else that's on here of the 97 people. And then there's one for everybody else for family. You're welcome, Carolyn. Yes, absolutely. They like the Google Doc. Okay. Ebony, got more work to do. So we're going to do a Google Doc, and we're going to send that out to you. Ebony, can you make sure on one of them that it says the Apostles' House so that they know that this one is only for the Apostles' House? And if you want one, then you have one for your leadership at home, or will signify the difference. So can I ask a question? Can I ask a big favor? There's 99 of us on here tonight. If everyone sent $1 in, we can bless Ebony with $100 for all these Google Docs that she's doing. Is everybody in with me? $1, and I'll add to it. I'll make it the 100. And we sow $100 into Ebony for all of her volunteer work and making all these docs and forms, responding to emails and questions, helping with technology. If everybody can start sending it in now, we are able to send her $100 directly for all of her work. Because I'm going to need more volunteers after this. And hopefully we won't all have to be volunteers. Ebony, you're supposed to say thank you. That's the emotional, intelligent response. Don't turn it down. Don't say no, thank you. I do it because I love you. I do it because I enjoy the work. Say thank you. That's all. Right, y'all? Don't worry, Crystal. We'll have backup paper. We'll have it printed out at the church at where you could send it to my Cash App and I'll send her $100 over at one time. I don't want a bunch of dollars going to her. Yep. Send it to my Cash App and I'll send her the complete $100. Thank you, Patricia Wilson. Sending 125. How do I send it? Send it to Dr. Suzanne M. Howard. If you can put the Cash App on the screen, please. People are asking now and we should have that up. Yes, send it to mine. I don't want her to get $100 bill deposits that she'll have to put in her account and she'll have to pay on every single dollar deposit that she transfers. Rashad, I don't know if you have Zelle. I don't know if you have, I don't know what else you have. She said, thank you, Ashley. Okay. Do you see at the bottom of the screen now? It's going by on the ticker message, $ Dr. Suzanne M. Howard. And I will forward over to her the complete amount instead of sending her $, here. Yeah, she's been a blessing. And I really worked her this year. She talks to me every day about what she can do. She's been making shorts of the video. She's been keeping up with all the analytics. After we hang up with you guys, we're on the phone another hour or 2 hours. I haven't heard any complaints from her husband or children, but she's been on with me for an hour, 2 hours afterwards, perfecting things, discussing things, making sure we're not leaving anything out, remembering the EI package giveaway, talking about the intentional mentoring giveaway. She's been keeping up with all the Amazon reviews and dealing with everyone. Thank you. It's being sent. I can send yours, Rashard, says Ashley. Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's good. Kamisha said you the bomb. All right. So we've got 2 more nights and we're going to have a good 2 more nights and we're going to get on the relationship assessment and we'll be closing right on time on Wednesday. We've got enough work to still get done. Is that all right? Thank you all for your time. Thank you for your obedience. I'm just so glad that God connected me with my tribe. I'm so glad that he connected me with people who are interested in personal and professional development. And that's why, above all things, I pray that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. God bless you all. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow night. Good night.